Africans helped free Africans. That was the dream. Nigeria sacrificed blood, sweat, and billions to help South Africa break the chains of apartheid. And it stood with Ghana through its darkest hours. But today, from Accra to Johannesburg, the chant isn't unity. It's Nigerians must go. What happened? How did the victims of past discrimination become the architecture of new xenophobia? This is the story of forgotten solidarity and modern betrayal. South Africa. The debt was never paid. It still hasn't been paid. In the 1960s, while South Africa groomed under the weight of apartheid, it was Nigeria that stood tall. Nigerian civil servants paid the Mandela tax voluntary tax deductions to fund the ANC liberation. Between 1970 and 1994, Nigerians spent over 61 billion on anti-apartheid efforts. Nigeria hosts exiled leaders like the Tambo Mbeki, provided 300 plus diplomatic passports to freedom fighters. Artists like Sonny Odosun and Maje Faskin used music to raise international awareness. Fire in Soweto became a protest anthem across West Africa. Nigeria led the boycott of Olympics, punished for South Africa's expulsion from the Commonwealth and mobilized African nations against apartheid. Nigerian students skipped lunch to fund ANC. Nelson Mandela's prison release. South Africa became free in 1994. But 30 years later, Nigerians in South Africa are under the attack. Xenophobia today in South Africa is disgusting. Since 2008, over 200 Africans, mostly Nigerians, Zimbabwe, Congolese, have been killed in xenophobic riots in South Africa. Nigerians have been accused of taking jobs, houses, and running illegal trades. But data consistently show migrants contribute positively to the economy. In 2009, shop owned by Nigerians were burned in Johannesburg and Pretoria. Several lives were lost. Meanwhile, a whites-only community exists in Orion. Unchallenging. What a shame. And the mob have never been there. The hypocrisy is painful. Those once discriminated against for being black now discriminate against others, Africans, for being foreigners. What an irony. It's not a laughing matter, it's disheartening. Then we move over to Ghana. In the early 20th century, West Africa flowed freely across with no borders. Ghana and Nigeria intermarried, traded, and even governed together under British colonialism. But that unity will soon be tested. Nigeria supported Ghana's early independent movement. And many West African intellectuals, including Nigerians, studied at the University of Ghana, Legon. In the 1980s, during economic collapse in Ghana, Nigeria provided jobs, markets, and shelter for thousands of Ghanaians. Over 1 million Ghanaians lived in Nigeria by 1983, working as teachers, carpenters, and traders. Then the first betrayal happened. Ghana must go. We all remember that one. But history often forgets that Ghana first expelled Nigerians in 1969 under the Alliance Compliance Order, displacing over 2 million Nigerians, Yoruba families, deeply rooted in Nigerian cities. In 1983, Nigeria retaliated. President Shibu Sigari ordered mass expulsion of undocumented immigrants. Over 100 Ghanaians were forced to leave in 2 weeks. They packed their belongings in cheap bags, now called Ghana Must Go. Pain knows no boundary, and yet today, Ghana street echoes chants of Nigeria must go. You forgot so easily. Ghana started expelling Nigerians from Ghana. Then the Nigerians retaliated with what we know as Ghana Must Go. Everybody remembers Ghana Must Go. Nobody knew the Ghanaians started it. And today, they are in for another one because of an Igbo king. How does an Igbo king affect the whole Nigerian community? In 2024 and 2025, Ghanaian protests and authorities clamped down on Nigerian-owned businesses, especially in Accra and Kumasi. Shops were closed, businesses' license revoked, and headlines ran, Nigeria must go. Tension peaked over allegations of crimes, but many Nigerian traders say they were being punished for their success in local communities. Nigerians supported others and got nothing but resentment in return. But what about the time Ghana and South Africa stood with Nigeria? Yeah, they did. During the Biafra Civil War, 1967 and 1970, Ghana sheltered Igbo refugees and attempted to mediate peace at the Buhari Conference and the Aburi Conference. Kwame Nkrumah provided ideology and material support to Nigerian nationalists in the 1940s to 1950s. Ghana was a leader in Pan-Africanism and a co-founder of the OAU with Nigeria. South Africa also has helped Nigeria in the past. Post-1999, South Africa welcomed Nigeria back diplomatically. South African businesses like MTN, DSTV, and ShopRite created jobs and paid taxes in Nigeria. Nigeria and South Africa partnered on peacekeeping in Sudan, DRC, and AU policy reform. Still, these moments of unity pale compared to the sacrifice Nigeria made. And that's why the betrayal hurts deep. What drives this hatred? It's not history, it's economy, insecurity, political failure, easy scapegoats. But let's ask ourselves, how can South Africa, who survived apartheid, now be banning fellow Africans from hospitals? How can Ghanaians who were expelled with nothing, nor expelled with others succeeding? Now, how can Ghanaians who were expelled with nothing now expel others for succeeding? In some South African hospitals, many deny foreigners aid. In Ghana, public anger has targeted Nigerians for crime rates, despite lack of strong evidence. The same suffering once inflicted by colonizers is now being repackaged and delivered by fellow Africans. Disgusting. Xenophobia doesn't protect Africa. It weakens Africa. When we attack each other, we hand victory to the real oppressor. Poverty, unemployment, bad governance has nothing to do with each other African countries or each individual living in the country. It has everything to do with the colonial masters, with the government. But yet, you can't attack your government. You look for the next person that speaks a little bit different from you to attack them. Nigeria helped Africa rise. Now Africa must stop pulling Nigeria down. And we must stop pulling each other down. Let's remember what brought us together. Not just the pain, but the power of unity. Let's tell our children not just about Ghana must go back, but about the love that came before the hate. The story of Africa isn't xenophobia. It is solidarity. It's people bounded by pain, by love. Why are we treating each other this way? What has an immigrant's success got to do with you? Or got to do with the poverty around you? What happened to holding the real people accountable for this discrimination, for this suffering that is going on in Africa? We let them go And we look for the next person that has just a little bit of difference from us to pour down our hatred on them. Nigerians in South Africa are not the cause of the poverty in South Africa. Nigerians in Ghana are not the cause of the poverty in Ghana. Nigerians in other parts of the world are not the cause of the poverty in those places. Hold your leaders accountable. Hold your colonizers accountable. And shame on you, South Africa. You have a white-only community in your area. You don't have the guts to go and tell them to stop that rubbish. But you have the guts to tell another man that looks exactly like you to get out of your country. What country? What country? Would the country have existed if Nigeria didn't support you? And you Ghanaians, you sit there and you welcome immigrants from all around the world. But because another person is coming from the same continent like you tell them to go? Have you forgotten that there are African American communities in Ghana being developed right now? They come and they inflate your country, your currency, and you're talking about Nigerians? What happened to unity? What happened to let's grow together? What happened to Africa for all? We are trying to break barriers. We are not creating new barriers. And yes, I understand. If you don't want immigrants doing a certain kind of job, tell your government the way the Tanzanian government is saying, we don't want immigrants to do this, this, and this in our country. That is good. So that when immigrants are coming, they know these are the kind of jobs they have to do. These are the kind of businesses they have to do. That I accept. But for you to sit and tell them to go? Mother Africa is crying. Our people were killed by colonizers. We fought each other to let this slavery thing go away. Now we're fighting each other to get out the colonizers. And what do we have? You are doing proxy wars for the colonizers. If you don't know, that's what you're doing. Telling another black man to leave is the same as a white man telling Africans to leave Africa. Or it's same as a white man taking all the resources. We are building unity. Unity. And is it just about economic problem? When did the Nigerian become the government of South Africa to make economic decisions or to make government decisions? Why are you not chasing your leaders? I remember when they said South Africans are killing white South Africans. The whole Africa stood with you guys because we know that is not true. This happened just a few months ago, and look at the result. What are we fighting for? Tell your government to come up with strategic laws. If you don't want South African Nigerians owning businesses or doing petty business in your country, tell your government to make those laws. As long as those laws are not there, they have the right to do what they want to do in the country. As long as it's legal. Oh, this hatred. What for? Where is it taking us to? In case you've forgotten, whether you like it or not, Nigerians are taking themselves out of poverty. It's either you join them or you stay behind. I am not a Nigerian by birth. But yes, when you see people doing something good, you let the whole world know. It's so easy to point at the people that don't look like us, while forgetting that the people that look like us are the ones killing us. Shame on you, Ghana. Shame on you, South Africa. And any other African country trying to send Africans out, shame on all of you. We are trying to break the wall of the barriers among Africa so that the economy can flow. And you have illiterates making rants, making noises. We're not giving up on our mission. Africa has to be great. It must be great. So if you are an enemy of Africa, either in black skin or in white skin, we are kicking you all out. We will let you all know that you're not welcome. Because we know some of you have sold your souls to the devil. You're not worse than the African leaders that are selling the resources away. Hold them accountable. Don't go for your fellow brothers. Unity is what we want. We want a situation where someone can leave South Africa and go and do business in Senegal and have no problems, with no barriers. And you're here telling people not to get into hospitals. Dear Africans, what happened to us? Who cursed us? When do we stop loving each other? Nigerians are not your problem. Even South Africans are not your problem. You know who your problem is or problems are. But then you're so scared to hold them accountable. Ghanaians, Nigerians do not increase the prices in your country. Have you forgotten? You have welcomed Black Americans, which is good, and they have come in with money, and the prices have gone up. Hold them accountable. Hold your government accountable. Don't call innocent people just trying to have their daily bread. An Igbo king, and so what? Hold the Igbo king accountable. Tell him to get out of your country. You don't just collectively tell a whole country, oh, you're not welcome. And it had happened to you. But don't forget, you started it. It's disgusting behavior. It's shame on all of you. And let me tell you, those videos are online. Your children's children and children's children will watch those videos. Will watch the video of you telling your fellow Black man to get out of the country. Your generation will watch that video. The internet never forgets. It never forgets. Unity is all we want. Let's just watch a couple of videos and see how this thing has been unfolding and the disgusting way in which it has been unfolding. Here are some videos of all the nasty xenophobia and perpetrated. Thank you guys. If you like my channel, please go subscribe to Her Voice, and we will keep you updated with all the recent news in Africa.